Good Friday evening, May 9th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. U.S. Senator Patty Murray held a virtual press call with wildfire officials from Washington and Oregon yesterday to, quote, sound the alarm on threats to wildfire preparedness and response. The Wenatchee City Council on Thursday reversed a 2023 ordinance that required the mayor to confirm the termination of top city officials with the council. Partly cloudy and continued mild for Saturday with clouds, cooler temperatures, and a slight chance for showers on Mother's Day. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that Douglas County Prosecutor Gordon Edgar will be stepping away as prosecutor effective June 30th. Edgar said the decision came after discussions with his wife, and they concluded that this is the right time to step away. He was first elected to the position in 2018 following the retirement of former prosecuting attorney Steve Clem, and Edgar was re-elected to a second term in 2022 unopposed. His current term concludes on December 31st of the next year. Edgar is an independent, and Douglas County's All-Republican Board of Commissioners must appoint his successor. Edgar said he will speak to the commissioners in an executive session Tuesday and plans to submit an official resignation letter in early June. A Spokane man allegedly used phony police lights and a silver Crown Victoria to pull over another motorist Thursday on Chumstick Highway. The Washington State Patrol says 62-year-old Ronald O. Cowan flashed a set of dash-mounted lights while traveling behind another driver outside Leavenworth about 6:40 p.m. and then continued driving when the victim pulled over. He allegedly tried the same trick again on the same driver 10 miles later on Highway 2 eastbound near Dryden. The victim driver took a photo of the passing car and called police. Troopers say they were able to find and stop Cowan's car on White Trail Road outside Quincy. They found gear in his car, including radios, firearms, and a heavy-duty flashlight. Cowan was cited on a charge of second-degree criminal impersonation, which is a gross misdemeanor. He was due to appear today in Chelan County District Court. U.S. Senator Patty Murray held a virtual press call with wildfire officials from Washington and Oregon yesterday to, quote, sound the alarm on threats to wildfire preparedness and response. Murray spoke about how advanced preparation is important to fighting wildfires and said the Trump administration's cuts to Forest Service employees affects that. Locally, 46 probationary workers at the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest were laid off in February.
Here's the thing. Nearly every single Forest Service employee supports fire operations in some capacity. Trail maintenance crews ensure access to routes remain clear for firefighting personnel and equipment. Biologists conduct essential environmental assessments that inform prescribed burns and fuel reduction strategies. And other support staff like camp managers and administrative personnel receive firefighting training and are mobilized during peak fire season to bolster our frontline crews. In fact, around 3/4 of Forest Service workers are trained in wildland firefighting. They provide crucial surge capacity when a crisis strikes.
Washington State Forester George Geisler joined Murray on the call and spoke about how collaboration is crucial to wildfire response.
Many don't even understand how interconnected wildland fire response is in our nation. Across our state and across all states, the folks on the ground are actually from Forest Service, DOI, state forestry agencies, and local fire service on the majority of fires that we see on the landscape. In fact, state and local fire service together account for almost 80% of the wildland fire response in this country. But with a lot of change occurring, the biggest issue that we're currently facing is not always the funding, but it's the lack of communication. What we are having to do right now as we enter our summer fire season is prepare. Much like the senator said, this is the time when we are making certain that we have the aviation we need, when we have the personnel we need, and that all of our systems check out and are ready to go when the alarm bell rings. Without knowing what our partners are doing or not having a clear understanding of what actions are being taken, we struggle with missing the third leg of the stool that we have. And so that, more than anything at the state level, has truly made it a challenge as we go into what looks to be a pretty significant wildland fire season.
The Cascade School District's environmental programs have earned the district a special statewide recognition. On Tuesday, the State Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction recognized Cascade as the only Washington Green Ribbon School District for 2025. The program honors schools and districts for demonstrating progress in reduced environmental impact and cost, improved health and wellness for students and staff, and for integrated environmental education. The awards ceremony included community partners and elected officials who joined students for a hike on Rattlesnake Hill, visited outdoor classrooms, and other activities. Cascade is the third district in eastern Washington to be selected for the Green Ribbon Schools program since it began in 2012. When we come back, the Wenatchee City Council on Thursday reversed a 2023 ordinance that required the mayor to confirm the termination of top city officials with the council. That and more coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
The Wenatchee City Council on Thursday reversed a 2023 ordinance that required the mayor to confirm the termination of top city officials with the council. Danielle Marchant, the city's attorney, said that state law did not expressly give city council the authority to confirm termination and, as a result, may not stand up to legal scrutiny. Marchant also noted that the ordinance may be infringing on the mayor's state-determined powers. Mayor Mike Poyer told our media partner, the Wenatchee World, that he had no desire to terminate any employees, but believed he should have the power if needed. The city council members voted unanimously to approve the reversal. Congresswoman Kim Schreier joined the other members of the Democratic Doctors Caucus in Washington, D.C. earlier this week to speak against cuts to $880 billion of funding to Medicaid. Earlier this year, all 6 Democratic physicians serving in the U.S. House of Representatives joined together to form the first ever Democratic Doctors Caucus. Schreier's office said the Republican attempts to cut the funding would affect 80 million Americans, including 37 million children, and affect the broader healthcare system.
It's called Apple Health in Washington State. 1 out of 3 of my constituents relies on Apple Health. And when you chop one of those legs of the stool, the entire system crumbles. It means that all of us, not just those who are dependent on Medicaid for their own care, will be impacted. Look, people with Medicaid, they're still going to get care. but it won't be paid for. It'll be too late. Things will be more serious, and it will be care in the emergency department, where the care is most expensive and it is the most crowded place to get care. And so when you're rushing to your local emergency department for acute chest pain, you'll be in a long line behind patients who I see with ear infections and coughs and shortness of breath and fevers. And your insurance costs will rise in order to cover these costs and keep our healthcare system afloat. And if your local hospital, despite all of that, can't make ends meet because it's providing this care for free, it's going to first cut services like labor and delivery and pediatrics and drug treatment and mental health, or that hospital or clinic is going to close. And this is particularly true in rural areas like in my district in Washington State. And that is what I mean by saying that cuts to Medicaid endanger our entire U.S. healthcare system.
Winton Manufacturing Compost Works, a composting plant near Lake Wenatchee, has organized 3 upcoming compost giveaway events in celebration of International Compost Awareness Week. The company will be giving away free compost from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Wenatchee River Institute's E. Lorene Young Community Garden in Leavenworth. Later events will take place May 17th at Grace Lutheran Church in Wenatchee and May 24th at the Celebration Lutheran Church in East Wenatchee, also from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Compost is a nutrient-dense mixture created by the natural recycling process of various organic materials. It's often used as fertilizer for soil since its high nutrient content enhances plant growth. Attendees must bring their own bucket, bag, or tote to have it filled with compost. Coming up next, last summer, Wenatchee artist Casey Koski was commissioned to create 4 art pieces for a National Historic Park in Michigan. We'll have more on that in tonight's feature story. Expect another mild day tomorrow with weather changes coming our way on Mother's Day. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
At Abby's, Toppings to the Edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it. Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com, give us a call, or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you prep boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com.
Last summer, Wenatchee artist Casey Koski was commissioned to create 4 art pieces for the Keweenaw National Historic Park in Michigan. Now she's been invited back to install 6 additional pieces. Though Koski has lived in Wenatchee for over 20 years, she's a Michigan native and is excited at the opportunity to return. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Casey Safford spoke with Koski this week to get the details of her newly commissioned pieces.
The park had a vision for a continuing theme in each of their sites. So the work that I'll be doing this summer is very much like the work that I did for them last summer. So the idea was to have kind of a similar motif at all of their sites. And the people that I created in the sculptures last year can be, like the same style can be used in all of those sites. So there'll be people doing different activities based on the history of the site itself.
Yes, so I understand that the art you did before was, I believe I don't remember what kind of metal you said you used, but it was kind of creating the people that may have lived on the property and what they might have been doing during the time that they were there.
Yeah, so because of the historic nature of the park and the fact that many of their sites are currently kind of in ruins, there's a lot of rusted metal on, like, throughout those environments. And so we used a specific type of steel called Core 10, which is made to naturally rust to a shell that eventually protects the core of the steel. So it doesn't rust all the way through, but it creates a rusted look on the exterior. And so because of the rusted equipment, we chose this specifically to go kind of within that environment so that it would create a patina that looked historic.
Great. All right, so tell us a bit about how long you see the process taking for these new pieces. I know you said you will be going back this summer. Mm-hmm. How much of that is planning that you do before you go versus when you're actually there on site?
So the vast majority of the project happens here from my small workspace at home. We're actually going to do a FaceTime or a Zoom walkthrough of one of the sites on Friday of this week to give me a little bit of a better kind of perspective of the site I'll be working on. If I had all the time in the world and all the vacation time to go and just visit these places, in person would probably be best. But of course I have maps of these sites, and with Google Earth and all that technology, like I can really kind of zoom in and see the lay of the buildings and what their route or path would be for a guided tour. And so making my best judgment on the location to place the sculpture is pretty easy to do from a distance. When I go back, I'll have files ready. The process that's used to cut them is with a laser, computer-controlled laser cutting of the steel. And so I'll do the designs from here, but when I go there, I'll be kind of observing the cutting of the steel, readying the concrete pads to attach them to, and then we actually stand them up in place. It was a pretty quick process last year. We stood up all 4 of the sculptures I made for the site in one day in a little bit more than an hour. So wow. Everything went according to plan. I had made a plan for those concrete pads that they're attached to, and we were able to move them into their positions with just manpower. And so we rolled them along the ground and then only had to lift for a brief period of time to get them positioned just right. We bolted them down and they were standing and ready to go.
Great. So you said it was 4 pieces you did previously, mm-hmm. and how many exactly are you going to be doing now? This
year we're going to be doing 6. What we've decided to do is repurpose one of the sculptures or one of the designs I created last year. He was just a waving miner, and so he's just a very friendly face and can really work in almost any of their sites because all of those historical sites are related to mining. So this year we'll be cutting 6, but I'm only designing 4 new ones.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope you ended the week on a high note. Sure was nice weather-wise out there. Looking outside our weather window at the Upper Valley today, just a beautiful day. We did see some high and some mid-level clouds out there. The hills are green right now, but we could use some rain, and we might see some by the end of our weekend. Partly cloudy skies for Saturday as well. High temperatures tomorrow, I think here generally in the mid to maybe upper 70s on Saturday, and then by the time we get into Sunday and Monday, about a 20 to 30% chance for showers both Sunday and Monday, and we are going to cool off. High temperatures on Monday only into the mid 60s, and we'll talk more about that coming up. Beautiful one today though, unofficial, our high temperature 78 degrees. 70 is where we should be for this time of year, and boy, all week our record highs have been in 1987, another one today, 92 degrees back in 87. 87. 46 this morning, 47 our normal low temperature, and our record low is 34, set in 1985. Sunrise 5:31, and the sun sets tonight at 8:24. All right, getting you into the weekend, and our Saturday temperatures looks beautiful to kick off the weekend. Almost 80 for Moses Lake, 78 in Ephrata, 77 for Quincy, and then as we move west and north, temperatures generally in the mid-70s tomorrow. Wenatchee, we will see 75 for a high. Leavenworth tomorrow, your high temperature 73 degrees. All right, tonight we expect mostly cloudy skies as this trough of low pressure begins its eastward trek into the state. Just a little ridge of high pressure will keep it at bay. That's why we'll see a decent day on Saturday. Low temperatures tonight, very mild into the low 50s. For your Saturday, here comes a double shot of low pressure. Our ridge of high pressure holding on for one more day, but some clouds will move through. There is the cold front, and we will see cooler temperatures as we get into Mother's Day. But Saturday, not bad at all, mid-70s. For your Mother's Day, there's our weather maker sitting off the coast of Oregon. It'll bring mostly cloudy skies into the state. About a 20% chance that we will see late afternoon and evening showers on Mother's Day. High temperatures in the upper 60s. For your Monday, mostly cloudy skies once again. Our low moves all the way over into Montana. High pressure begins to move in, but we do have about a 30% chance of rain on Monday, and temperatures below normal, only into the mid-60s to kick off our next work week. By Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, maybe a little breezy in the afternoon. We will warm up a little bit Tuesday as well, with high temperatures in those upper 60s. For Wednesday, we will see partly cloudy skies once again, maybe even mostly sunny by afternoon, but yes, it is going to be breezy to maybe even windy as we get into Wednesday. Warming up too, with high temperatures midweek next week into the low 70s. And as we get into the end of our forecast on Thursday, we do expect partly cloudy skies, high pressure still off the coast of California. A little bit breezy again on Thursday with high temperatures, pretty comfortable into the low and mid 70s. All right, let's take a look now at the 7-day forecast. 52 overnight tonight. Beautiful start to our weekend Saturday. We will see some clouds, but temperatures in the mid 70s, and then a slight chance for rain both Mother's Day Sunday and into Monday. Look at that, temperatures Monday only at about 65 degrees, and then we warm up once again next week. 68 Tuesday, mostly sunny, and 71 with breezy conditions Wednesday, and partly cloudy Thursday with a high temperature then of 73 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The Wenatchee Bighorns are back for more TBL action against the Salem Volcanoes on Thursday, May 15th, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Join Grant Olson and Jamie Council with all the action from W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College with our pregame beginning at 6:45. Follow Bighorns basketball all season long on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
What do you think of that?
Pretty big, I like it.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station. Happy finally Friday. The Mariners are back home to start a 6-game homestand with the first of 3 against Toronto tonight. Seattle will send Luis Castillo to the mound against the Jays' Kevin Gausman. Now, as a longtime Northwest sports fan, I think we reserve the right to both love and hate our sports teams. Heck, the Seahawks led the Broncos by 3 touchdowns in Super Bowl 48, and I still didn't think they were going to win. Mariners have won 8 of their last 10. They set a club record with 9 straight series wins, so I'll enjoy it for now, but I keep looking around the corner for the coming slump. Doubters doubt, haters hate, but there is no doubt that the Mariners are hot.
And over the last count
calendar month. Seattle Mariners hitters have hit the most home runs in all of Major League Baseball, and Seattle Mariners starters have allowed the second fewest. And that right there is how you go on a 17 wins in 23 games run.
Grand slam! It is Cal Raleigh 5 and the Rangers nothing.
Ben Williamson robs Peterson of a base hit.
Back and gone! One pitch, one run. Go ahead, RBI single in the ninth inning.
Welcome back, Matt Brash. The Mariners have won 8 consecutive series to tie a Mariner Club record.
Taking it for the berm, home run, Julio. He's on his way home and scores standing.
And the Mariners come from behind and win a thriller 5-3. Ben Williamson with a RBI double.
A 3-run bomb from Ronnie Tellez.
Leody Taveras has just tied this game.
An 8-inning lead. He throws him and the ball game's over. The Mariners come from behind again. They have now won their 9th consecutive series.
Seattle's lead in the American League West heading into the weekend stands at 3 games over the Athletics and 4 over Houston. Rangers are 5 games back after being blanked by Boston yesterday. Toronto comes to Seattle having salvaged the final game of that series against the Angels by a final of 8-5. The Wenatchee Bighorns wrap up a 7-game homestand tonight at Wenatchee Valley College. Wenatchee hosts the Vancouver Volcanoes in TBL play at 7 o'clock. Bighorns will be in Seattle tomorrow night to face the Superhawks. Wenatchee had its 6-game winning streak snapped by Great Falls last Friday and are 3.5 games behind the Electric in the Pacific Division. The TBL play continues tonight at WVC. Brewster is the only Central Washington team to advance in the semifinals to the District 5 1A 2B boys soccer tournament. Bears shut out Highland 2-0 to advance. They'll face Royal in the next round after the Knights edged Cashmere 1-0. Wapito topped Cascade 2-0 while Waloot got by Connell 2-1 in the other quarterfinal matches. Big 9 regular season wraps up today with Moses Lake at Eastmont while Wenatchee visits Sunnyside. Coming up tomorrow, Cashmere plays at Highland at noon while Cascade hosts Connell tomorrow night at 6. Quincy continues the District 5 2A tournament with a playoff game at Grandview. That'll be tomorrow at noon. NCWLIFE channel will bring you live coverage of Eastmont and Moses Lake tonight at Wildcat Stadium. Wildcats celebrating senior night with the Mavericks in town. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen have the call with our pregame getting underway at 6:45. That's on TV, the streams, all the good stuff. Well, Omak and College Place had their baseball seasons come to an end with losses in the District 5-6 1A playoffs yesterday. The Pioneers fell to Zilla 3-2. Connell topped College Place 3-2. Cashmere advanced to the district championship with a 7-3 win over Royal. They'll play Chelan after the Goats edged Natchez Valley 5-4. Central Washington 2B League playoffs saw Liberty Bell top Tenasket 13-0 while Okanagan beat Brewster 10-6. Lake Roosevelt visits Davenport today. Eastmont is hosting Moses Lake in a doubleheader while Wenatchee plays 2 games at West Valley. Chelan and Cashmere meet for the district championship tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. That's at Yakima County Stadium. The Big 9 fast pitch season wraps up today with Eastmont at Moses Lake for a doubleheader. Wenatchee's hosting West Valley in a twin bill. Now, if Eastmont can sweep the Mavericks, Wildcats will win the regular season Big 9 title. The Central Washington 2B League playoffs continue tomorrow with semifinal games. Brewster plays at Tenasket at 11, while Lake Roosevelt hosts Okanagan at 1:30. The District 5 2A tournament moves to Sela and East Valley. Prosser plays Ephrata in Sela at 11 in a loser-out game. Othello matches up with Ellensburg at East Valley at 11, also in a loser-out contest. District 5 1A tournament will be played at Gateway Park at Yakima with Chelan facing Cashmere at 11. That's followed by Omak and Royal at 1:15. That's Check of Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there, and have a great weekend.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.